Hello everyone. This is a really exciting day to install the new release of Renderman 24 and to essentially try it out. Um, I have to say I know Renderman 24 a bit. Some of you know it that I was part of the beta team or the beta user team, and so I knew Renderman 24 quite a bit for now, for almost 6 months now. I will show you what is important to know about 24 and especially the XPU build, and I will show you what is important in my personal opinion. Um, so many people were asking how fast is Renderman 24 or the XPU build, and in that video I will show you. So what you see right here is Louise, which is one of the example files that Pixar's Renderman is providing on their web page, and I already converted the entire model to work better on my low-end GPU. To show what a GPU I have a 6 GB GPU, which is not that much for XPU. So in that demo, I will probably come close to the maximum GPU RAM limit, which can lead to a crash of Renderman XPU. To minimize the crash risk, you should do something like, I have to go here. You can always try to go to the limits page, and here in the limit page you have the texture memory, and the texture memory should, you can try to lower this value, which sometimes helps in order to not crash the GPU when you come close to the GPU RAM limit. That's what I did here in this example file. And I also, because of the limited GPU RAM, I also have converted the hair to poly splines. So because the curves are using more memory. And what I show you now is the difference between rendering inside of the OBJ space that most of you are familiar with, and I will also show you how much more responsive Renderman XPU is inside of Solaris. I highly recommend to use Solaris with XPU. The benefit is quite clear. The USD file system inside of Solaris is much more optimized, and you can use a lot of you can essentially put more geometry on the screen without coming without exceeding the limit of your GPU that fast. So I will show you now how Renderman XPU will behave. It's I hope the recording will not crash the GPU now. So we are at 1.3 gigabytes right now, and I will start the render process. So I have maximum 512 samples, so adaptive sampling is not currently working, and as far as I know. So sorry when I do maybe a mistake. So I use the XPU engine, which is available to all customers, and I will use the CPU and as well the GPU on my RTX, so you can choose the CUDA device. I have also the Pixar Path Tracer, and I will render to it. So this should be enough. So I will save this file, and I will open the it tool. There is an issue with Linux Ubuntu builds. So when you not have CentOS 7, you need to install, or you need to compile the required library files from CentOS for your build. And without that, you will not be able to use the it tool, let us say in Ubuntu or I'm on Linux Mint. So you can only use the render view when you don't have those compiled files for non-CentOS users. So I will start to process the IPR now, and it's loading, and hopefully it will not crash. I will set to ACG, and here it comes. So this is a 1K render, and you see it's really updating quite fast. I can show you one of the results that I have rendered in the meantime. Here. So I already made an image a while ago. So this is essentially the output of the image. I have changed the hair color in the example that I made for the beta that you see on the right side. I also have rendered it in 2K, and when I don't recall it wrong, I had a render time with 2000 samples, don't recall it correctly, of about less than 1 hour with all those tiny details in the eyes. I mean, there's a little amount of noise in the eyes. This is because XPU is unbiased now, and I also see that I don't have activated the subdivision surface, but I can do that. Yeah, I have to do that. Where is it? I think that was the right one. So save again and hit render. So here we go. So let us check the edges. It's working now. So yeah, I unchecked this button. And yeah, as you can see, it's updating quite fast, and yeah, maybe we can add additional light just for showing you how fast Renderman will react. And I will push this up to, let us say, 1000 or 10,000, and as you can see, it's updating quite fast. So when I grab the camera and move it closer to the head, we should get an update, as you can see. So this is quite fast, and it's really nice. I have released 2 examples in the last weeks where I have used XPU heavily. Also on my latest butterfly work, on this video work, it really helped me to get the job done, because I needed to render more than 1000 frames, and in the end the old RIS Renderman 23.5 required a render time of essentially an hour. The second shot took 2 hours to render 1 frame because of the translucency and the subsurface scattering and so on. And with XPU, the render time was cut down to essentially 5 to 10 minutes per frame on my computer, because I not only use the CPU, which is, by the way, not very fast, but also because I was able to use my GPU at the same time. So yeah, this is the result in traditional OBJ space. I will now turn to Solaris to show you how it behaves in Solaris. I have to mention that I did the conversion to Solaris a couple minutes ago, so it's not yet lit that way with all those bounce lights and area lights and so on. But I converted the shaders and so on, so yeah, you will see the update is quite fast. So I will save it anyways. Saving is the best what you can do. So where can I go now? Where's Solaris? So I have a Solaris tab made for myself, and here we have essentially the same scene, but of course only with yeah, two lights. So but I will turn um, the renderer to the same XPU, which means CPU and GPU usage. So here we go. It's loading. Oh wow. This is because of defocusing. So camera edit, we need a camera edit. So this is no problem. Edit. So maybe we do that, and here we have to change the where was it? I think it was the f-stop value to set to 0. So yeah, the RAM is filled. Hopefully it will not crash. That's the only burden that I have with okay, why is it not working? Set and create. So here we have it. So as you can see, it's updating really fast. So I essentially can move out, yeah, and oh, this was too fast. So maybe I can change the settings. Stop that, and we use a Renderman renderer right here, and we will set the render settings to renderer settings. And here we can go for the same resolution like in the other image. We use cam 1, which we have, where is it? Here's cam 1. Yeah, that's cam 1. It's a raster image, renderer XPU. Path tracer, I guess it was default, don't know exactly, but I guess. So yeah, don't judge me. This is first-hand experience right now. And here we go again. So essentially what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to the to this page, so I limit the maximum samples, and as well I wanted to change the interactive refinement, which makes it much easier to work with. So and when we now want to light something, we can essentially add another light, and we can move it here, maybe here, crank up the intensity a bit, maybe a bit more, and go to the render settings camera, and here it is rendering. So isn't that amazing? I mean, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, the entire model and the I guess to remember that this was part of a 3D scan somehow. Not entirely sure, but this model is beautiful, so it's it's really it's really nice. Also the hairs and so on. It looks totally realistic when we look back at the image right here. It's insane. So what we can also do, we can deal with the shaders here in Solaris. So as you might know, you have to assign those shaders with the material library. This is the best way to add materials. And when we want to go away with those lights, we have to basically add the render geometry settings right here. And here we can activate camera visibility off, and then we have to go to this screen, and here we drag and drop the entire light group into that, and so all the lights are disappearing in the render image. So what we can do also is, yeah, of course we can do change other stuff like the materials. So we can go to the carbon fiber doesn't look correct. I guess to remember it was more black. Can do it anyways. We can dial down this color here and hopefully it will update. Yeah, where is it? Okay, now this had crashed, so my bad. But yeah, I highly recommend to get a bigger CPU, GPU, or what you can also do is you can render this entire thing on CPU. So maybe I can do that for tweaking. I will go to XPU CPU in the render settings right here, which means I use the Renderman XPU CPU button, and this should limit the issue, and it is still very fast. So maybe I did a mistake right here. Okay, I did a mistake. I see it right here. This was my bad. So where is the material? I can't see it. Carbon fiber. That's the right one. So now we have it. So yeah, working. Environment light. Can put a dome light into that. You have to make sure that all your textures are already converted to Renderman text files with the texture manager, and here we can apply a texture. Maybe I can use one of the source images. Maybe there was, okay, you have to turn that to the star, and the source image, maybe there was a light dome. Was there a light dome somewhere? Maybe I can use one of mine. So maybe we can use, maybe not the bathroom, but we can maybe use the beach. And here we have the beach lighting. So this is not updating. Yeah, okay, it has crashed, of course. We have to get away with those lights, so we do that and do that again. So they should disappear. But as you can see, it's really fast. So yeah, of course I have to activate it. So it's updating really fast, as well as on CPU, XPU. I highly recommend to use XPU when you have a commercial license. Of course, you have to check out the Renderman documentation, because not all features of RIS are supported. For now, there is no volume support in XPU. I personally think that is not an issue, because in a real production environment you always try to keep the volume render separate from the environment, because this allows you to tweak the render settings and to save a lot of render time. And the volumes are also rendering a bit faster in, I say a bit faster in RIS. So yeah. So essentially this is what I wanted to show you, and of course there is a lot of improvement in the render engine as well as in every project, and I think I really like what the developers have achieved, and it's really nice that so many people also in the beta team helped to yeah to make this release possible. So really thank you to the developers and all the people responsible for guiding and helping to achieve this. So yeah, I hope you had some insight into XPU, and I have no doubt that we will see a lot of nice looking XPU projects in the future, and I also believe that many studios and many people will adopt this render engine because it's so fast. And yeah, of course it's not yet fully made, and a true test against other render engines has to be made when all features are included, not yet. So yeah, I wish every one of you a nice testing, a nice day, and okay, it's probably night here in Germany, but yeah, I wish everyone a nice time. See you, bye.